Welcome to Everyday Linux User. Today I am reviewing Xubuntu 26.04. Now Xubuntu is Ubuntu with the XFCE desktop and it's useful for older machines. In today's video I'll show you the basics of Xubuntu, and I can't believe this is the first time I've ever actually reviewed Xubuntu on its own. So we'll start off with the installation, which is straightforward. It's very similar to the other installers. Choose your language and your keyboard layout, and then you can choose to connect to the internet, and you can choose whether to have interactive or auto install. I choose interactive. Then you can choose your desktop, so I went for the desktop, and then you can choose to install third-party repositories or not. And then you can choose where you want to install Xubuntu. Now in my video here I am showing a manual installation because I want to install it alongside another operating system, but for you, you might want to just erase and install. So you can see I'm putting it alongside Zorin, which was on the PC in the first place. And I give it 100 gigabytes of disk space, which is more than enough, well over what you actually need. You can choose to encrypt or not, but then you get to create a computer name, add a username, password, and confirm the password, and you can choose to log in automatically. And then you choose where you are in the world. Then you click install and Xubuntu will install. Now this can take about 15 to 20 minutes or so. But when it's finished, you'll see this complete. Restart your computer and remove the USB drive. So this is Xubuntu. It's a lightweight version of Ubuntu, and it uses the XFCE desktop. Now it's very lightweight and it doesn't look as stylish as Ubuntu, which runs GNOME, or Xubuntu, which runs KDE, or even the Ubuntu Cinnamon version, which runs the Cinnamon desktop. But what it lacks for in style, it certainly makes up for in substance. Now the first thing we're going to do is look at the hardware situation, and if we go up here you can see we've got a network, and go down to available networks, and you can see I've got plenty of networks available to me, and all I have to do is click one of those and enter my password, and if I wasn't on a wired connection, which I am, then it would connect to that network. If we look at Bluetooth
mode,
we can go to devices, and then we click search. We double click.
Connecting.
And it's finally connected after a while. So that is that. Now let's look at printers. So we go up here, go into type print, and you can see printers is available here. And you can see my printer is set up by default. So Xubuntu, as I mentioned before, is based on Ubuntu, and therefore you get all the goodies that come with Ubuntu. The hardware is already usually pretty good. So if we go for the default applications, and you've got this menu up here, it's called the whisker menu, which makes it easy to search for things. So if you want to search for a web browser, you type web browser, and then you can either go for the default, or you can go Firefox, and it gives other options as well. If we look at what's actually installed under accessories, you get all the normal tools that you'd expect, like a file manager, a calculator, mouse pad, screenshot tool, terminal emulator. Under games, we've got a couple of games in there. Mine's is Sudoku. Under graphics, we've got GIMP, which is a image editing program, LibreOffice Draw, and you've got an image viewer as well. Under internet, you've got the App Center, which is where you install software from, Firefox web browser, HexChat, which is an online chat client, Thunderbird email, and Transmission BitTorrent client. Under multimedia, we have Kdenlive and OBS. I installed myself for video editing, but you get the Pro Media Player, Rhythmbox, and XFBurn for burning DVDs or CDs. And under Office, you get the full LibreOffice suite. So what happens if you want to install your own applications? So up here, we saw earlier that there is, under Internet, an App Center option. You could also search for install, and it'll give you a list of things you can use to install. So there's also the Synaptic package manager as well. I think it's a bit weird that the App Center doesn't appear with the other tool. But if we go into there now, Xubuntu, like all the other Ubuntus, now relies heavily on snaps. Now, what you think of that is up to each individual to choose, but if you're a new user coming to Linux, you're not really going to notice too much difference compared to using Flatpak or other file formats. And it just means that whichever version of Ubuntu you're using, you're following the same formula, and therefore the applications you find on one, you should be able to find on another. So you can see here, you've got feature snaps, you've got a few tools available here. So you can click into here, you can click into productivity, development and games, or you can explore yourself. But a lot of people will want to search for their apps. So for instance, if you don't want Parole as your media player and you prefer VLC, you can just search for VLC. And then just click the install button here. And you can see that's installing. You can also search for things like Spotify. And I can install that. Now, one thing you won't find is Google Chrome, because there is no snap package for Chrome, but you've got Chromium if you want to install it that way. The other thing you can do is you can go to Firefox, download Google from their website. You just choose the Ubuntu or Debian package, and then you open up the file manager, go to your downloads folder, right click and choose open with app installer, and simply click install. Then when you open Google Chrome up, you can then choose to set it as your default browser if you so wish. And this is the perfect opportunity to ask you to like and subscribe this video if you are enjoying it. And why not become a member, and you get early access to new videos, and you get little symbols when you do comments on the videos. But it's more for supporting the channel than anything else. So the next step is looking at this layout, because having to find your applications each time is not very good, and I really don't like having to drag to the top of the screen to find my applications, etc. I prefer my menu bar at the bottom and my panel at the bottom. So what we're going to do is right click, we're going to go panel, we're going to go panel preferences, and we're going to turn off the lock. You can see what that does is it puts these little dots at the side, and we can now drag that down. Next thing we're going to do is it's quite small, so I'm going to make it a lot larger. You can either do it this way, or you can type in a number. So we're going to do 48, like that, which is now too large. So we're going to go 36, and I think that's about right. And you can see we've got these little icons at the bottom. So if we go into Internet and right click, we can add to panel. And you can see that puts that at the side. So we right click, do move, and we put that there like that. And then we can do that with other applications as well. The other way of doing it is you can go into the item screen, and you can actually just move the items up and down. So you can see we've got Spotify and VLC that way around. If I click here and I click the up arrow, you can see it moves it up along the way. So you don't have to move it and drag it. You can go into this items tab and then change the order in here. And you can see the separator here. If it's above the separator, it's going to go to the left. It's below the separator, it's going to go to the right, like this. You can see that my open applications are to the left of my icons, so I'm moving that to there, and I'm just going to put that there. So now anything that's open is along here, and you can see all my quick launch stay together. Once you're finished, what you really should do is go back to your display and lock that panel again. Otherwise, it can be moved accidentally. Right click and choose desktop settings, and you can see what wallpapers are available for Xubuntu. And these are the ones by default, and they're actually quite nice. So I think that's a really, really nice wallpaper that just comes with Xubuntu. But there's a few of them that are worthy candidates. But I really like that. We've also got this tree view. Now, as with other distributions, if I went into LibreOffice and I go into here, by default you don't get these fonts. I installed these myself, and the way I did that, you don't have to use the terminal. I try and do these videos with minimal terminal access because these videos are for the average computer user, and the average computer user doesn't want to use the terminal. If we go into our menu and we search for Synaptic, this is a more basic package manager, but includes packages that you won't see in the App Center. If we search for the word restricted, and we scroll down, you can see Ubuntu restricted extras. You check that, and then you click the apply button, and that will install that, and it will install all the fonts. You'll be asked to accept a license agreement, but that's all you have to do there. Then you get the fonts, and you'll be able to listen to MP3 audio, certain video formats, etc. Installing VLC also helps with that sort of thing. Now down in the right corner, we've got things like your volume control, you've got notifications, network, Bluetooth. You can see I've got the OBS running, and we've got computer here. You can turn it into presentation mode. Now that does things like stop the screen turning off halfway through a presentation. You can see up here we've got desktop icons. If we go into desktop settings again, you can actually turn those off. So if we go here, under menus, you can choose include application menus on desktop right click. So at the moment you've got quick launch icons. If I do that and right click, you've now got applications here, and you can choose from that menu as well. You could add other things to menus as well. Under desktop icons, you can choose the size of the icons, whether to show tooltips or not. You could have no icons if you want no icons at all. Minimized application icons. I prefer none. I prefer not to have any desktop icons at all. Keeps my screen clear. There's Settings Manager, and this enables you to control your system a bit like the Windows control panel. So you can configure your profile image. You can change the look and feel of Xubuntu. So at the moment you can see I'm on Greybird. I can go for Add Waiter. That makes it very bright. Or we can go Add Waiter Dark. Makes it very dark. Greybird Dark. And in a future video I will show you how to customize XFCE. Clipboard Manager, you've got desktop settings. So this is the thing you're in when you right click. Language support, menu editors, panel profiles. You've got window manager tweaks, keyboards, printers, power management. Everything you need to customize or to set up your hardware is in with the settings screen. If you're wondering about performance, then Xubuntu from the outset starts at about 750 to 800 megabytes in memory usage. So that puts it in the medium to lightweight category. Lighter than a lot of distributions like Ubuntu itself, but not crazily light like Q4 OS with the Trinity desktop. So if you're going to compare Xubuntu with anything, you'd probably compare with MX Linux. And I would say MX Linux is probably better out of the box, got more tools. Xubuntu, it works well if you like the Ubuntu ecosystem, then the hardware's all going to work, everything's going to work pretty much like Ubuntu, except it's got this lightweight XFCE desktop. Now, if you've got an older machine, then I recommend using Xubuntu over Ubuntu, and it will work, and it works in a Windows-esque way, a bit like Ubuntu, with the way the menu systems work. But that is the end of the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time on Everyday Linux User.